Sophia's the kind of girl who likes to take all her friends for a ride in the Jeep.
She gonna ride in the Jeep also?
Yeah.
But when the 2-year-old's not playing with her dolls,
I can pay that.
Dr. Sophia is doing checkups on her mommy, Brandy Benner. So when the time came to celebrate Sophia going pee-pee in the potty,
I took her to the store and was like, okay, you can pick out anything you want. Here you go.
Sophia picked out the perfect prize all by herself.
There was one dressed like a doctor, so she immediately fell in love with it and had to have it because that's her in a nutshell.
This is Megan, the doll Sophia picked.
We have a pee-pee.
But when it came time to pay for Megan, the cashier at her local Target apparently didn't like the look of things.
She said, well, are you sure this is the doll you want, honey? Because she doesn't look like you. And we have lots of other dolls here that look more like you.
Benner's jaw dropped, but before she could answer, Sophia offered up the perfect explanation.
Her reasoning why was, she's a doctor like I'm a doctor. And she's a pretty girl and I'm a pretty girl. And that's all she saw.
Benner went home and posted what happened on Facebook. The little girl and her doctor doll gone viral. But here in the Benner house, they're just going for a drive. Sophia may not be a doctor yet, but she sure knows a thing or two about healing and love.
Just to stick to love. I mean, love is love is love. And that means every color, every person, every interaction.
Leave her right there.
And we could attack and go negative because of what she said, but my daughter just responded in love. And I really just think that's the heart of all of it.
That's nice of you.
Tanya Mendes, NBC Charlotte.
So, a 2-year-old that schooled a grown adult. Oh man, I'm just shaking my head over this story. Like, really? Like, are you sure you want this doll? This doll doesn't look like you. There's a lot of other dolls that look a lot more like you. What a stupid, racist, intolerant, bigoted idiot of a cashier in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is absolutely so ignorant. If that cashier was working for me, I would fire her. I'm hoping that she's been fired. She deserves to be fired if she hasn't been. Like, who the hell are you to be telling a 2-year-old that she should be buying a white doll, or hinting at a 2-year-old that she should be buying a white doll instead of a black doll because the white doll looks more like her? And not only that, like my mom once said to me, and I've heard other people say this as well too, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. You're dealing with a customer here. If you don't agree, if you don't agree with the purchases that your customers are making, too bad. Just shut your mouth, bring the transaction through, and allow the customer to pay for their purchase. I mean, fine. If you have something positive to say, like what a pretty doll that is, or what a pretty little girl you are, or whatever, okay, fine. But to be hinting at her that she shouldn't be buying that doll because that doll's a different skin color than her. You know, there's some examples out there of children being more intelligent than adults. And that's one of those examples. Like, you really needed to be schooled by a 2-year-old as a grown adult. No, if this person is still working at Target, I personally think they deserve to be fired. And the thing I got to say about Target as well too. I work for a relatively small well, I guess you'd call it a mid-sized company here in London, Ontario, Canada. This company, it employs less than 200 people. And even though it's a relatively small company, we still have all kinds of workplace training, such as sensitivity training, anti-harassment training, anti-violence training. We have all kinds of various types of character training at our workplace. Now, it's my understanding that Target is the third largest retailer in the US, with Walmart being number one and Costco being number two. Like, why doesn't Target, I wonder how much training Target does. I wonder if they do sensitivity training or anti-harassment training or anti-violence training or anti-racism training or anything like that to their employees that are dealing with the general public. If they don't, then what are they waiting for? It's time that they hurry up and start doing that. I mean, I'm not saying that with all that training that all your employees are going to be angels and never say or do anything wrong going forward, but they should at least be receiving that training. And as a grown adult, you ought to know better than saying something stupid like that. Like, what an ignorant, racist, wretched bigot of a cashier at Target. Good on this little girl, this little 2-year-old, for knowing better than a grown adult that she was dealing with on cash. And good for this 2-year-old's parents for raising a fine child. I do hope that she does grow up to become a doctor. And shame on that Target employee. You deserve, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You deserve to be fired. You deserve to be unemployed. With that stinking, disgusting attitude of yours. Shame on you.